See that there? See, that's what you don't do. Right there. Is all of that.
Right here, I have low speed disc to high speed. Basically, the thing is, see, I actually started trying to bomb high speed drivers and not really getting them to do or to work how they're supposed to. And then I was told to go back and throw some putters to learn how to get my accuracy better, and I always struggled with flipping them over. And then I watched a guy's video who said to slow down your throw and your speed, and it's been more effective with my accuracy using that technique. And then when I go back into throwing high-speed drivers, my form's better and I get more accuracy. But either way, starting with this one, it's a Speed 2, it's an AVR putter. It's actually one of my favorite putters. I mostly use it for upshots and long range putts because it has what I heard is that if the disc is kind of domey, it's going to have a good glide to it. It's not the most overstable and it's not the best in windy conditions, but on a good day, I could get a really nice upshot or a long putt with it, because if you get the right spin on it, it's just going to glide for a while. The mid-range V-Rock, I don't really know anyone else who throws these, but I kind of like it. It's to me, it's kind of in between a putter and a mid-range. Good for kind of long-range upshots. This is a Speed 4, so it takes a little bit more arm speed, but not too much. It's pretty overstable and it has a low fade. If I throw it just right, I could get it to go straight with a little bit of fade at the end. So I kind of like that. The Rock 3, I'm still kind of getting used to that. It's a pretty overstable disc as well with the high fade. But still getting used to that. And this is probably one of my favorite discs that I have right now. And that's a Westside Disc Destiny. It has a Speed 14. So you got to have a good arm speed to do what you want to do. Now, except for on a really windy day or throwing into some headwind, I usually will have problems with this disc, anhydering out to the right. But it has a 6 glide, and that's why I bought it. I wanted to check it out and see if I could get some distance with it. It has a -2 for the turn, which is, stable to understable, and a 3 fade, so it's gonna come back and fade back left most of the time. The thing I like about this disc is I can kind of get it to do pretty much what I want it to do, because it has the right amount of speed, glide, and turn and fade for me, that if I want, I could throw it on an anhyzer route, and most of the time I could get it to just ride that anhyzer route all the time without even flipping to the left. Depends on how high I throw it. And but usually what I really like to do is use this disc for is, instead of throwing forehand, I'll throw an anhyzer flex shot, and I'll get it to do a huge anhyzer to the right, get around some trees and then break back left and usually land right next to the pin and get some really good distance with it. But like I said, it has to be in the right wind conditions, otherwise it's gonna just shoot off over there. I also have these I recently purchased. I heard them talk about how they're beadless putters, and I really like that because I've always had a really hard time gripping putters. I don't know the speed. These seem to be pretty stable, and most of the time they're a little more stable than these, and seem to go pretty straight with a nice little fade at the end. So they're pretty consistent, and probably my favorite putter that I've used so far. But I don't know what it is about this thing, but it's one of the first putters I ever used, and for some reason I still like it. Simple, basic, but it works for me. So thank you.